Welcome back. So in this tutorial, we're going to go over we're going to go more in depth into the ls command. We're going to go more in depth into moving around, and then we're going to show you how to create things like create a file, create a folder, things like that. So let's get into it. So to start with, we saw that you could type in ls and you could type in help, okay? And there was a bunch of stuff you could do under here, but we haven't really used any of this. So, now we have to look at, okay, well, what does all this stuff do? Well, I can tell you one thing. I've been working with computers for a long, long time. A lot of these, you're never going to memorize all these, so you're going to look these up a lot when you need it to do something. But a lot of these, you're probably never going to use. There's so many of these that most people will never use. The one that we are going to use a lot is the -L, which basically prints everything out in long form. And I will show you why that's handy here in a second. Let's create a file in there. I want to create a file. We're going to say nano. And then we're going to give it the file name. We're just going to type it, call it test. Nano is a text editor in your terminal window. So let's just type in this is a test. You'll have to bear with me. I just got a new keyboard, so I'm still trying to learn it. To exit this, we're going to hit Control X. It's going to ask, do you want to save it? We're going to hit yes. What do we want to save it as? Well, we're going to write test is fine. Hit enter. Okay, now if we hit ls, you can see test is here again. Okay, so we created this file in our home directory. What if we want to look at just this file? Well, we can type in ls test and it will just pull that one file. Okay, it will only print it out. What if we want to look at like the permission structures of that file? Well, if we type in ls L in test, this will give us everything about it. When it was made, what the name is, who owns it, what group it's in, what user can use it, and it also gives us the permission structures for each group. So right now we can read and write. We can't execute it because it's not an executable file anyway. All we can do is read and write. Some people can only read. Why, so these little things that ls does, this is how it can be real powerful for you. So if you need to look at something specifically, you can look at it this way. You can print things out, it can count things for you, stuff like that. Okay, so we made a file. Now how do we make a folder? So let's say we're in home, and let's say we want to make a folder called home folder. Well, we would make directory, and we're going to call it home folder. Now, as you can see, home folder right here. So now we can go into home folder. There's nothing in there, but we can move into it. And that's how you'll know it's a directory. And you can also see in the terminal, if it's blue, it's a directory. If it's white, it's a file. If it's green, it's an executable, et cetera, et cetera. We'll get more into that. But as you can see, we can move into it. So that's another way you can know that it's a directory. We made this directory. Let's say we want to put test in that directory. So let's say move test. And how do we move it? Well, do we just type in home folder? As you can see, test is gone now. So let's go into home folder, and look, test is in there. So I hope this gives you a little bit of an overview more on how to create things, how to modify, how to move, how to copy. We're going to go into all of that, but this is just a kind of an overview of moving and creating a folder. And I will see you guys in the next one.